Okay. My name is Kamaria Green. I'm a first year here, obviously, at Michigan State, and my major is Communication, Leadership, and Strategy.
Kal-El Garrett, freshman, computer engineering.
Hi, my name is Charisma Holly. I am studying Communications, Leadership, and Strategy, and I'm a freshman here on campus.
I would definitely say like reproductive organs, obviously, and it's like, we have boobs, men don't, and just like different things like that. In terms of day-to-day life, I guess like first thing that comes to mind since I'm in like a period poverty organization is like women have periods, like even timers for like birth control and stuff. Like there's so many just different health factors and things that we have to organize our lives around that aren't really as seen or recognized like in the world, I feel like.
Right, so biggest differences, obviously the chromosomes, but how that actually plays out, what we see, men are normally tend to be taller, a bit bigger, more muscle. Obviously we have different, parts, just physically stronger for the most part. That's all I would say physically. I feel like, I guess as humans evolved and grew, that kind of played into the role of, the man being the hunter, going out, working, and I still feel like that's pretty common now. That's what you see, and the woman staying home, taking care of the kids. I feel like just those biological, physical traits kind of play into that a lot. It doesn't have to be that way, but I just feel like naturally tends to happen.
To the best of my understanding, the biological differences between male and female bodies are the actual body parts and their functions. So females by nature can get pregnant, and males by nature produce sperm. The other half needed to fertilize an egg. That's my 6th grade understanding of it. The extent to which it impacts everyday life is not necessarily as much as you would think. You interact in the world is something maybe not entirely different, but something much more different than, I guess, if people were talking about in terms of like hormones, then maybe the female body like is naturally equipped for like experiencing hormonal changes like during like ovulation cycles. So I guess I could say that might have an everyday impact, but other than that, I can't imagine like biology itself being the difference.
I feel like it just, for me, kind of depends on how I look at it. Like I'm a spiritual person, so like I do think like energetically men and women are different, but in terms of just like operating as a human being like in this world, I really don't think that there's much of a difference. Like of course, like we just discussed, like we have like certain physical hindrances, of course, but and like we're just as capable, and in some cases it's been proven more capable for like certain positions and like in the workplace and just becoming successful individuals. I think that that's definitely the even playing field. It's just like you gotta have what it takes. Period.
I would say men and women are opposites. That's the way I think about it. I think really just because that's the only two things, it has to be the opposite. I think that's really how I think about it. But it's funny you bring that up, because when you really look at it, like in comparison to other animals, we're not that different. We're not as different as you would think. But what I consider the man the opposite of a woman, just kind of the way I've been brought up and the way I think about it, that's probably what I would say. Definitely we're biological opposites. And for social opposites, I would say it tends to be that way, but not always, because there's plenty of women that act very masculine. There's plenty of men that act very feminine. So when it comes to social interaction, I wouldn't say opposites, just because any person can have any personality they want. But biologically, you would still be whatever man or woman, whatever you are.
So I definitely think that there is some inaccuracy to it, in the sense that the human body, like for both sexes, is more symmetrical than it is. So it's more, the idea of it is more there's another word. Anyway, it's more symmetrical than it is different, if that makes sense. Like when you look at the picture of the angular fish, those are like completely different because they're meant to be complementary. They're meant to be like part A and part B go together. But for humans, we're a lot more of the same. The notion probably came more from trying to determine the purposes we serve, in the sense that society's like order. Society has this notion of, okay, if I want to assign roles, I want to say like, okay, men, you're going to go provide and you're going to be in charge or whatever. And for women, you're going to, just to give an example of like stereotypical ways that society does this, it's like women, okay, you're going to be like the home taker, or like the home, or like the family part, like the domestic side of things. And the only way to really assign these roles and get people to conform to these roles is to be able to say like, here's why, here's the fundamental difference. And so you find whatever kind of differences that you can, and you try to attribute those. But really, there aren't a whole lot of differences aside from these assigned purposes that we've kind of come up with. So
when I'm around girls, like I'm definitely just like a lot more open, a lot more friendly, a lot more myself. And then this has been changing for me recently within the past couple of years, just again throughout life. Like you have different experiences that change you. But like for a period of time, like around guys, I would kind of like stiffen up over like, oh my gosh, they want something from me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you're kind of expecting that they have some sort of ulterior motive just for like interacting with you. And in cases like that can be true. But again, as I've come to college and just like had different experiences throughout life, like that's not always the case. Like you can be cool with guys, you can be cool with girls. Like it's not like no crazy difference like that. So yeah.
Do you feel more comfortable talking about certain things with different genders? I feel like definitely. I feel like talking to women about, it's easier to talk to women about like feelings and things like that. They're more understanding. And then dudes, you talk to them about dude stuff. So things you guys find cool, sports, whatever. You don't really talk to women about that. They're not normally into it.
It's not about my expectations. It's about my expectations about your expectations. So like to give with the example that you gave, when a guy approaches me, I think my primary instinct is not what do I think about this guy? It's what do I think this guy thinks about me, in the sense that he's approaching me. So do I look approachable? Like, do I look like somebody that, why does he feel like he can approach me, is kind of like the idea of it. Versus when a girl approaches me, it's like, okay, wait, am I about to get a compliment? Am I about to receive some new information? Is this a warning? Like what, this could be like a whole number of different things.
Just because like maybe it's been normalized for women to meet the expectations that have been set for men, and because like we live in this within like patriarchal society, it would almost be seen as kind of like lowering yourself for a man to do the opposite. You know what I'm saying? And obviously that's not the case, but I think like subconsciously, like that's kind of maybe how it's viewed, and that's why we haven't seen that change.
If I walk into a business meeting or some event and I see a woman in a suit, right, that's like a statement, right? That's like a power move. It's showing that, I think it shows that she's powerful, right? You're taking charge. If I go to a business meeting and see a guy in a dress, I'm not taking that seriously as a woman in a suit. A woman in a suit, I'm like, okay, she means business. A guy in a dress, I think you're just pulling the stunt or trying to be funny. I don't know why, really. I don't know why. That's kind of just how I think about it.
People like to aspire to whatever's seen as the higher status, or the more, whatever's the more like, exclusive is not the word, but whatever is the more well perceived thing. And so because for so long it's like masculine is better or more powerful or whatever, then everyone is trying to compete for that. So men, of course, don't have to compete very hard because they're already in the category that expects to be masculine. But women, because for so long it's been like, oh, being masculine is better and stronger, women are now competing to be in that category.
I definitely do feel more comfortable around guys I know are gay or that I know have just no interest in me because of their sexuality. Because again, like there's not that underlying feeling like, okay, are they expecting something? Or like, there's kind of like a saying like guys are, even though they're friends with you, like they would probably link up with you, if they had the opportunity or if the situation was right. And so there's none of that like underlying feeling when I'm interacting with people who have like a sexuality that obviously does not cater to me at all. So it's like there is more of a comfortability there. At least from my perspective and my experiences, and like with girls who are into girls, when they say that like, hey, I'm not into you or I have no interest in you, it's like it's actually genuine, it's actually honest, and the friendship just feels a lot more natural. And maybe because like just girly girls type thing. But yeah.
Not really for the most part, but I guess there's some stereotypes that go with like, I guess, gay guys or gay girls or whatever. I don't really feel like I treat anybody too different. I don't have any specific expectations, but I feel like maybe gay guys are normally a bit nicer, a bit more open to talking. That's something I feel like I've noticed. But
With like, if you're straight, for instance, then my expectations about your expectations is you might be thinking about being in a relationship with me. But if you're gay, then you're probably not having that thought. So it definitely does shift some of the perceptions. But as far as like how it changes behavior or relationship, I think those things depend on the person. It's not always inherent. It can have an impact, and there are a lot of cases where it probably does. It just probably depends on like who you are.
I think honestly, like the pros can be the cons, and I'm about to explain that. So, like, the pro could be it could make a more open, more comfortable space for children who are questioning their sexuality. But then the cons could be that could also provide like or enable a lot of confusion for children, especially because like they're younger and like they may not understand all of that fully yet, and so like it may add to the confusion that they experience like growing up, especially like middle school and stuff. Like a lot of people are confused about their sexuality in that stage. So I think that would be a con.
so I'd say a big pro of it is they've got to understand and learn what it is at some point. I mean, people that don't, people that are gay or have different sexualities, they exist and they have to learn about that at some point. I guess a con would be maybe that's a bit too early to talk about that. I know there's this big boom of parents not wanting, there's kids to learn about all sexuality and gender and all that stuff in school. So I guess that's just a con of it. A lot of people are going to be unhappy with it.
This is always a delicate conversation because people come from so many different backgrounds. Some people from religious backgrounds are like, don't teach that to my kids or whatever. Some people are like, yeah, let them know. I think it's definitely like a wider conversation about diversity as a whole. But I would say like with sexuality specifically, some of the benefits could easily be just awareness. So with increased access to like the internet, children are going to get exposed to things regardless. No matter how much parental control you think and believe you have, people are going to talk about things on the playground. Like having it be conducted in a safe and accurate, factual way inside of the classroom with adults who can moderate the conversation would probably be the ideal way to do it. That is like a huge benefit. People might argue that you're introducing them to concepts that they wouldn't otherwise know about. However, it's kind of the same thing when people talk about the importance of sex ed, and it's like, okay, well, you have to take those precautions when they're really young to stop things from happening, or like to keep them aware of things that might happen at that age. And as awareness grows about like, things that happen to little kids, the more that people push like, okay, maybe we should have those conversations earlier on.